Lesson 2, how much food to eat? Okay, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. How much food to eat? Most people overeat by accident. They eat because the food tastes good. I get it. But they keep eating and they keep eating and keep eating. And that's usually how you gain weight. You can actually eat almost anything you want if you only ate till you were content. I only eat till I'm content. I never stuff myself because I know the results are not what I'm looking for. You have this this mentality today, and I hear it all the time, and it's one of those excuses, not reasons that we talked about earlier. And the mindset nutrition is, my parents used to fill up my plate, and so that's why I overeat. Well, which is not true. You overeat because you love the food and you just taste good. Just tastes good. It has nothing to do with your parents. Don't blame your parents for why you can't put the fork down. You can't put the fork down because it tastes good. That's okay. But you're going to have weight problems if you do that. So learn to put the fork down when you're satisfied, because you can eat again when you're hungry. And if you're eating the right portion sizes, you'll be hungry again pretty quick, 2 to 2.5 hours, and then you can eat again. What people tend to do is they eat all these big meals at one time. Their bodies can't possibly break that food down and use it. So it stores. And that's why all these fasting things, I eat one big meal, and then it's the craziest thing in the world to eat one big meal and then starve the rest of the day. It absolutely makes no sense. But this is the things that we do to hopefully create a weight loss thing instead of doing it scientifically. So we're going to do everything scientifically because it makes sense. It works. So eating, how much food to eat? Eating for strength gains. If you're trying to gain muscle and get a little bigger, you have to eat more than the number that you're looking to be when it comes to your lean body mass. And what I mean by that is this. I'll just give you an example. When I was competing, I weighed 285. Actually, no, I'm gonna go to when I was trying to grow. When I was trying to get bigger, I strength trained, but I ate to get big. It's a difference between eating to grow and eating to lean out. The training actually never changes. It's just the eating that changes. And when I'm trying to get a little stronger, I try to give my body a little more food on that day because I'm trying to get stronger. So my whole program was adding a little more carbs to my diet and a little more protein to my diet. So each meal I would add another ounce or two of protein and maybe another 25 grams of carbs, or 50, for me, it was 50 grams of carbs a day. So when I want to maintain my weight, I do 100 grams of carbs a day. If I want to lose, I do 50. And if I want to grow, I do 150. But I know my numbers. We're going to find out your numbers through this process by trial and error. Okay, try this. Okay, that looks great. Okay, you're getting stronger. Great. Okay, you're gaining weight. Not so great. So let's get you stronger without the weight gain. And that's when I start moving around fats and I start moving around proteins and manipulating carbs. This is why diet is not very simple. It's not just one 1,500 calories or keto, or it's not that simple, okay? But in this program, I'm gonna show you exactly what works for you. You won't have to remember everything that I know. You just need to remember what works for you and do that. And that's when you're gonna keep a food journal and you're gonna keep a training journal, and you can actually monitor it. Wow, when I was eating this way, I was getting stronger. When I was eating this way, I was losing weight. When I did that, I put a little bit of weight on. When I did this, and that's what the food journal is. It's to tell you what works. And then you keep that journal for the rest of your life. Now, as you get older and you change, the numbers are going to have to change, but you're going to know how to change them then. See, now you're going to understand, okay, I'm getting a little older. My metabolism is slowing down. I'm not working out like I used to. I need to back off of this. I need to back off of this and add that. And that's what you're going to do as you get older. So keep in mind, eating for strength, you eat a little more, okay? Because you want to feed the muscle to get stronger, okay? It doesn't mean you're going to gain weight when you get stronger. Matter of fact, everybody I train that loses 20, 30 pounds is stronger 20 pounds less than they were, okay? Like Bailey, when she first started, I think she was 153 when she first started. And when we were done by contest, I think she was 120, 121, but she was stronger than she was like 5 times stronger. She couldn't do any push-ups. And then she went to her CrossFit gym and they did a little thing called a Murph. They have all these little things at CrossFit gyms. And she ended up in a certain amount of time doing 100 push-ups. So from 0 to 100, and she lost 30 pounds. Catch my drift? It's really about understanding food that allows you to get stronger. And she went from a size 8 to a size 2 and a 0, which was her original size before she put the weight on. So this will get you, you can still get strong as heck by knowing how to eat. And we're going to work that with you by manipulating proteins, carbs, and sugars. And it's not something I can necessarily just say, do this, do that, because everyone is different. And that's why in this program, we're going to meet once a month, twice a month, whatever, as you move along, so I can keep making adjustments, explaining to you those adjustments, and then you'll learn what's working for you. Eating for weight loss. I think you guys are getting the drift now. Eating for weight loss is the same thing. I'll tell you about a client, a couple of clients, actually most clients, but this guy actually said it. We were training and I was asking him, I put him on a nutrition program, we were training. And 2, 3, 4 weeks in, I forget how long it was, I noticed that his body didn't look like I thought it should look. And he's in Thousand Oaks, California. I've known Mark for a while when I lived in LA. So I said to him, Mark, what's wrong? You don't look right. You don't look like I think you should look. You should look fuller. Your muscles should look healthier. Your muscles look kind of drawn. Your skin, and he's almost 60. I said, your skin is kind of hanging off you, and it shouldn't be doing that by now. And I said, what are you eating? Because I knew how he was training because I was training him. So I knew his training was fine. If I'm training you, your training's fine. So I was like, what are you eating? And he goes, well, and he tells me what he was eating. And I'm like, who told you to eat that? Who told you to do that? I know I didn't tell you to do that. And he's like, and I said, listen, if you want this to work, you have to listen to me. I mean, if you knew what you were doing before, you wouldn't have asked me to help you. So are you going to do what I'm asking you to do? Because if you're not, don't expect anything from me. Don't look at me at the end of this and tell me it's my fault, because it's not. It's your fault. So finally he goes, okay. And I told him what to eat. 3 days later, 3. Okay, we get on the call and we're training. And he goes, no, actually, we didn't even start training yet. As soon as he gets on the call, he says, hey, man, my son told me this morning, man, that I'm looking much better. He goes, in 3 days, I look much better than I did. And I said, Mark, listen, you gotta eat to lean out. You can't lean out starving yourself. It doesn't work. You lose muscle, you lose weight, but you're not gonna look lean. You're not gonna have a six-pack. You're not gonna have hard, firm arms and legs. You're gonna have saggy arms and legs, just like you were looking 3 days ago. And he said something to me that was the first time anyone ever actually put it this way, but he says, you know what, Idris? I couldn't wrap my mind around eating more would lean me out. He goes, I just couldn't do it. And I go, and I said, well, Mark, it's not just eating more. It's the food that I'm giving you. You can't just eat more and lean out. You have to eat a certain way to lean out. I'm not just giving you food. I'm giving you the right type of food for your training and your body type and you being a white 6-foot male with an athletic background who's 60 years old and been, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is not just me hocus pocus hoping it works. I know exactly what I want you to do. And I know exactly how you're going to get there. So I need you to listen, you know? So that was a good lesson for him. And it also taught me what people might be thinking that I didn't realize they were thinking that. And to be honest with you, I actually thought that at one time. When I finally learned, I was like, wow, eating more, except I just did what I was told. I didn't argue or you know, not listen to my coach. I don't bring people on to help me that know more than me and then not listen. But a lot of people do. And it's their fears. I've had people go, oh, I've had people disappear. And then all of a sudden they tell me, I see them 2 months later. I'm like, where'd you go? Well, I wasn't losing weight. So what'd you do? Well, I just went back to what I was doing before. Did it work? No. Okay. Why would you think it would work if it didn't work before? So a lot of times we underthink. I always say people sometimes overthink. I think I'm overthinking it. I'm like, actually, you're underthinking it. Because you already lost 20 pounds. Why would you change anything that I'm doing? You didn't do anything to help yourself lose 20 pounds. You did what I asked you to do. So why would you think you could stop coming back to me, and you're going to figure it out on your own? It doesn't work that way, okay? It takes time to understand nutrition. Eating for weight gain. Now, here is where you can add those carbs. Now, this is about for people who, now this part here is specifically for not the anorexic, the ectomorph who eats and eats and eats and just can't gain weight. And I've had women say this to me about their kids, my son is in high school and he's skinny and he's always eating, but he can't put weight on. And I said, well, always eating and eating enough is not always the same thing. And she's like, what do you mean? I'm like, you just watch him eat all the time, chips and cookies, and that doesn't mean he's going to put on weight. When I was trying to put on weight for bodybuilding, I ate full meals 5 times a day. I ate full meals when I wasn't hungry because I burned calories so fast. So he burns calories faster than I do. And he's putting stuff in his mouth all the time. But what is he putting in his mouth? What is it going to produce? Is he going to get stronger from it? Is he going to just get fat from it if he does put weight on? Or is he going to actually build lean muscle tissue? So I had to explain to people, your kid may be putting food in his mouth all the time, but he's not eating enough. Eating enough is eating, like I had a young lady, not a young lady, she was actually, she's still younger than me, but at the time she was 50, I think she was 50, Kelly was 50. And she always worked out hard and she was always thin. And she was basically starving herself trying to lean out. So when she went through my program, she goes, man, I never gained a pound on your program. All I did was get leaner and leaner and leaner. My body fat went down, my lean body mass went up, and my weight stayed the same. She goes, now I'm hiking more, I have more energy. My kids can't even keep up with me. It was wonderful. It was really wonderful to watch that change in her. But I have the same thing with her. I made her go from hardly eating anything to eating 5 meals a day, carbs in 3 of the 5 meals. She couldn't even eat the first day. She could only eat 3 of the meals. And she said she was stuffed. Her belly was sticking out. She thought the next day, she goes, I just knew the scale was going to go up. And I woke up the same weight. And the next day I could only get in 3 and I woke up the same weight. And after training, and we were training now, this was not just her eating. I was also training her and I was speeding up her metabolism by creating more lean muscle tissue with the intensity of our workouts. By 2 weeks, she was eating all 5 meals. She was hangry every time she ate one, and her weight never changed for 12 weeks. She just got better and better. Because I didn't want any weight coming off of her. I go, if I take weight off you, you're just going to be skinnier. So we have to build muscle and let the body fat just go down as we build muscle. So a lot of this, ladies and gentlemen, is science. This is all science. This is not just hocus pocus. I hope this works. Let me do some CrossFit and try to run the fat off. It doesn't work that way. Okay.